Hi friends, good morning. Welcome back to my channel. For those of you that might be new here, hi, welcome. My name is Megan and today we have a what sold video. This is going to be what sold for the last week-ish or so in my small business, and today is May 19th. I'm going to do my best to get this filmed, edited, and uploaded just as quickly as I can so these can be the most current sales I have to share right now. This week I do have sales to share with you from Poshmark, eBay, and Depop. If you are new here, I will pop a photo right here on the screen of the item we're chatting about in case one, I didn't put it in a haul, or two, maybe you missed it. I will also be sharing with you my full SEO title so you can get a feel of the keywords and phrases that I use to help sell each item. I do cross-post all of my items to all of my platforms, which are Poshmark, eBay, Depop, and Mercari, and whatnot now. But I will say I have had zero, a big fat goose egg, zero interaction, interest, anything on whatnot. So I don't know if I'm going to continue posting things to whatnot. I guess there's no harm in doing so because they all just get listed when I cross-post, and they all get delisted when something sells. So it's not really like any skin off my nose or whatever the saying is to list things there. It's just, it's been like 2 weeks of me consistently posting things on whatnot as well as all my other platforms. And I've literally received no comments, no offers, no questions, no likes, no nothing on whatnot. So if you have been posting on whatnot and have had some success, please share because that will give me a little bit of hope. Anyway, I do use NIFTY to cross-post all of my items to all of those platforms, and there is a 15% off discount code in the description of this video. If you're interested in using NIFTY and have never checked it out, I highly recommend it. Absolutely. I will also be sharing with you what each item sold for, what I will earn after fees and cost of goods, so after each individual platform, different fees and my cost of goods, how long each item was listed for before it sold, as well as whether or not I would source this item, pick this item up again while I was sourcing if I found it at a regular thrift store, and what the max I would be willing to pay at a regular thrift store would be. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. We're going to start with the Depop. First Depop sale. I guess let me scoot over and let me get this hair off of my face before it drives me absolutely, there we go. Oh, before it drives me crazy. And like I said, let me scoot over a tiny bit so we have enough room for the pictures. Okay. First sale, Lauren Ralph Lauren brown calf hair wooden minimalist mule slippers size 8. They sold for $53. I will make $46, and they took 76 days to sell. Would I pick them up again? No, I would not. They were a bit too niche of a market, I think, and I'm so glad they sold. This was actually the first offer I had received at all during the almost 80 days they were listed, and I happily accepted it. I probably would pick these up at the bins, but I would not source these at a regular store. Like I said, I think the market was just way too niche for these. However, when I found them, I did think they were going to sell very quickly for a lot of money. I don't know really why I thought that. I guess because they were so unique, I thought that. Yeah. That's what I get for thinking. And also I wanted to mention the photos that I'm going to be popping on the screen today are a little different than how I normally do it. I previously would take a photo of just the item and white out the background and make the entire listing translucent except for the item and just have the item kind of floating here. But I have received comments that people like to see the titles as well as to have me read them, and seeing them and reading them really helps you to not understand, but to see and absorb the keywords that I'm using a little bit better. So I am going to try that today, posting a picture of basically most of the listing, essentially the item and at least the title. So that's going to be a little different today. So you have to let me know if that's better or yeah. Anyway, next Depop sale, Acne Studios Jeffrey Plaid button-up shirt designer minimal men's size 50, sold for $66. I will make $60. It took 51 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would. This brand has a good following, and I would pay up to $8-ish at a regular thrift store for a acne button down in that condition. Like, nothing wrong with it. Next Depop sale, COS black pleated slim wide leg elastic trousers minimalist capsule, size 6. These sold for $30. I will make $27. These took 18 days to sell. Would I buy these again? Yes, I would, but only at the bins, because this, I think, is just too basic of a piece from this brand. Now, too basic doesn't mean it won't sell, but I think too basic means it doesn't have the ability to fetch a higher price. So I wouldn't be paying up for this at a regular thrift store. However, I would pick these up all day long at the bins. Next, this was a very recent bins find. It's actually, I think it is. Is it hanging over there? It is. Do you want to see it in real life? Hold on. Wish Vintage Y2K Halter Fairy Grunge Semi-Sheer Tank Top, size small. I have this over here to show you guys in a thrift haul, but it sold so quickly, so I do have to get this out today, but I can show you it right now. How cute! I picked this up strictly for the style. I couldn't even read what the tags said when I found it, but when I got home, I did figure out it said Wish. I have no idea about this brand. I bought this just based on the style, and I'm actually going to hang it over here on the doorway, so I remember I need to pack it before I leave. Like I said, I picked it up just based on style. I don't think I finished reading to you. It sold for $22. I will make $20, and it took 1 day to sell on Depop. And like I said, I would pick this up again, but I would only pick it up at the bins. I didn't make it abundantly clear. I did pick this up for style, and I thought it would sell on the Depop, and I love being right. Okay, next platform we're going to chat about is eBay. First eBay sale, Miu Miu black patent leather Oxford crystal heel derby shoe, size 40. They sold for $136. I will make $122. It took 178 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would. I did find these at the bins, though, but I would pay up to $15 for these because they're a designer brand. They're a great style, and they were a bins find, so these were like a no-brainer pickup. But like I said, I would absolutely pay up to $15 for a pair of shoes like these, especially in this condition. They weren't like well loved, but somebody definitely wore these shoes and really liked them, and they had some scuffs and dings and marks and things and bends to the patent leather, but they still sold for $136, and like I said, I make $122, so not a bad flip at all. Next, this was another recent bins find. Daddy's Girl vintage sheer pink lace party dress embroidered, size 2. This sold for $40. I will make $32, and this took 5 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Absolutely. Like I said, this was a bins find, but I would pay up to $5 for a dress like this at the regular thrift store. And I say only 5 because I have picked up dresses that look similar to this, like a similar style, perhaps not sheer, perhaps not this brand, but a similar style, similar size, similar era, and they don't do well. And then I pick up other dresses that are a little more fancy, and they sell for $100. So I haven't like quite hit the nail on the head with these little basically baby dresses. This was a size 2, so I think that's like the very first toddler size. I don't remember. But I would pay up to $5 for this, $40 on a bins item, especially an item that was so small, so lightweight, and like I said, baby size. You just can't go wrong. Yes, I would pick these up again. Next sale, We The Free Palmer cuffed wide leg jeans, light wash, new with tag, size 25. They sold for $75. I will make $60, and these took 9 days to sell. I'm so happy I'm still able to move Free People kind of quickly. I know not all free people is created equally, but when I did see that Target was starting to sell Free People, at least I think it's intimately free, that really worried me for the brand as a whole, and I kind of thought it was going to take a huge dive off of a cliff, and thank goodness it has not quite yet. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would, if they were new. This pair was new. It didn't have the actual like paper hang tag, like the price tag, but it did have the little fabric tag that told you the size, the style, and the brand that's like sewn into the back of the jeans, it still had that. I would pay up to $10 at a regular thrift store for these if they were new, especially if they were a bigger size. These were 25, so they were almost the smallest size they make. If they were bigger, I probably would have paid a tad bit more for them. Next, we're going to move into Poshmark, and the first Poshmark sale I have to share, handmade 1938 Clover, Moon, and Star quilt, scalloped edge, floral, 84 by 71. This sold for $175. I will make $138. It took 288 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? 1,000%. Yes, 1,000% I would. Quilts always do well for me, especially vintage quilts, and I would pay up to $30 for a quilt like this. However, like I said, this was a bins find, and our textiles at the bins are like 49 cents a pound. It's like a third of what clothing costs. So picking up quilts like this, even though they're bigger and way more, they cost less than the clothing does. So I would pick them up. I will say though, the bins kids, all the thrifter t-shirt bros have started going for quilts. Because there's nothing else to go for at my bins now. You can't just find t-shirts galore or good stuff left and right anymore, so you have to go for quilts. So I do have competition now at my bins for the quilts, but that's okay. You have to kind of know what you're looking for with the quilt, and not everybody knows what they're looking for, and some things are very telltale, and you can tell just by looking at something in a bin as it's rolling by. Oh, that's handmade. Oh, that's not handmade. Oh, that's a store-bought quilt. It's old, but it's definitely store-bought. It's not old. It's definitely handmade. So I still have an edge a little bit with the quilts. Anyway, next sale, another Free People piece. We the Free Tennessee embroidered corduroy pants in cream, folklore, whimsical, size 25. They sold for $93. I will make $70, and these only took 11 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Absolutely. The style is so trendy right now. And like I said, I think when I hauled these, very like Swift in her folklore era, and that's why I put that in the title as one of the keywords, folklore and whimsical. I would pay up to $20 for a pair of for this embroidered pair of pants. Again, especially if they were a larger size. Definitely be willing to pay a tiny bit more for a larger size. Okay, next sale, Stuart Weitzman Dynasty Slingback Buckle Pumps Black, Caroline Bessette Kennedy, size 8. They sold for $58. I will make $45, and they took 58 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? No. No, I would not. I picked these up because of the viral, like, flash trend that was Caroline Bessette Kennedy back when what's it called? True Love or something like that, when that documentary came out, I think on HBO or Hulu, one of the two. I haven't seen it yet, but I did see that documentary was causing a lot of people to be very much so into her style, her minimalist 90s style, and so I hashtagged it, but I used her name as part of the keywords in this title. Do I know for sure that that's why they sold? No, I don't. It just gave very much so her 90s minimalist style to me, and that's why I picked them up. I'm very glad they sold kind of close to in when this trend was still like trending, and I would not pick them up again because, like I said, I picked them up just based on the style element of them and the virality moment of Caroline Bessette Kennedy. So no, I would not pick these up again. Even though they sold for $58 and I will make $45, I would pass on these if I saw them again in the thrift store. Next, Poshmark sale. Kaimis Ranch Betty jeans, mid-rise, straight leg jeans, Western dark wash, size 836. They sold for $50. I'll make $38, and these took 1 day to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes. If you are new here and you haven't heard me say, this brand sells so well for me right now, and I would be willing to pay $12 to $15 per pair. Per pair for a pair of these jeans from this brand. Next, Poshmark sale. Hoka 1-1 Aura Recovery Flip-Flops Blue Neon Comfort Slide Sandals. Size 11. They sold for $39. I will make $23. This was a full price sale and they sold in 3 days. Would I pick these up again? Yes, I would. This brand has a loyal following and I'd be willing to pay up to $6 for these flip-flops at a regular thrift store. Next Depop sale, Hail Bob Burnout Velvet Mini Dress Y2K Boho Coquette Fairy Core Pink, size extra small. This sold for $35. I'll make $26, and this took 3 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, I would, but I would pick it up right now for the style and not for the brand. If this style, this like fairy core, like kind of like whimsical style wasn't trendy right now, I would not have picked this piece up. The brand, although it is a very high retail value, it doesn't resell for what you think it would because the retail is so high. It doesn't have that like direct line to resell like that. With all that being said, I would pay up to $6 at the regular thrift store for something like this. Next, Poshmark sale, vintage Levi's student fit light wash slim straight jeans, size 27-36, USA made. They sold for $90. I will make $68, and these took 2 days to sell. Would I pick these up again? Yes, all day, every day. Vintage student fit Levi's always do well for me, and I'd be willing to pay up to $20 depending on size and condition. Speaking of Levi's, look at these Levi's I picked up yesterday. They are 501, so they're not a student fit, but they are vintage made in USA. And where are they? Let me show you. Yeah. I bought these at the bins yesterday knowing they were like this. Ripped right here. And I do think someone will still pay a good amount for these jeans. These are a really great size for a 501. They're a 28, so a small waist, and a 36, so a long leg. I do think someone will buy these and repair them, and that little repair will be like a cool addition to these jeans. You'll have to let me know if you think I'm crazy. Would you have purchased those jeans with that giant rip in them? Do you think I'm crazy? Do you think that I'm going to be able to sell those? I think I'm going to be able to sell them, and I'd even say they sell pretty quickly too, within like a month or so. Anyway, if I didn't say, I would pay up to $20 for student fit Levi's depending on size and condition. Okay, next sale. Herment? Oh gosh. I don't know how to say that. Herment and Nadia? I have no idea how to say that, sorry. Suki one shoulder floral midi dress, pink gold, size medium, sold for $100, and I will make $78. This took 128 days to sell. Would I pick this up again? Yes, and I'd be willing to pay up to $10 for a dress in great condition from this brand. Next sale, last sale I actually have to share, JW Pay, I think that's how you say this brand. Harley Crescent shoulder bag, black minimalist, Y2K, hobo, model off duty. Sold for $63. I will make $48. And this sold the same day it was listed. This is the sale was a result of NIFTY sending out offers to likers for me, and this person that liked this bag got an offer 10 minutes after they liked it and accepted it. Would I pick this up again? I absolutely would, and I would pay up to $15 for a bag, especially in this style. The brand didn't hurt. This was a good brand, but the style is really what drew me to it in Plato's Closet, if I didn't say. This was a recent Plato's Closet find, and it cost me $8. Speaking of Plato's Closet, that was the end of the sales, by the way. But speaking of Plato's Closet, I actually have a bunch of stuff right here next to me, and I thought we could pack up a Plato's bag together and see what they're taking, see how we can fare at Plato's. Like I said, I bought that bag at Plato's, what was it, last week? I think Tuesday of last week, and it took, 2 days to sell? What did I say? Sold the same day I listed it. So I'm itching to go back to Plato's. I did find 2 other things on that trip. I found a pair of Big Bud press pants and a Dairy Boy camo crew neck. I've never heard of Dairy Boy before, but the comps were all over the place. So I did find a few good things to be listing myself at Plato, so I'm itching to go back kind of. I did take a fairly long hiatus from Plato's Closet, so let's pack a bag together. Let me scoot back. I have my Hulk in here. Let me put my microphone on me so you can hear me. Please hold. Okay, better. Ooh, I'm going to put the Hulk in right in front of me here, and we will just go ahead and pack her. First thing I have is, now let me preface this. All of these things came from the Goodwill outlet, or they are things from my own personal closet that at one point in time I found at the Goodwill outlet. And all of these things, aside from my own personal things, are things I purchased with the intention of selling them to Plato's Closet. So I'm going through the bins and I'm like, oh, Plato's will probably take this. Oh, this is really lightweight. Plato's will probably take this. Sorry, my hair's like on my last nerve. I really need to cut it, and I've just been putting that off. Anyway, first thing, this little Yale cropped t-shirt. It is Yale University branded, and it's a size medium. We'll see if they take that. I'm kind of going to go quickly because I have a dentist appointment it's in an hour, but I have to leave in half an hour to get there on time. They like you to be there early, and I like to be there early. I don't like to be there late. Next, we have an Athleta little like belt bag. I did find this at the bins. I used it for quite a while, but yesterday at the bins, I found myself a little mini fall raven backpack. It was actually all stained up. It was like dove gray, and it looked like somebody spilled an entire coffee on it and let it dry that way. And I sprayed it with my Dawn Power Wash, and I'm telling you, I'm in love with that Dawn Power Wash. It works so well. It made that backpack look like it was brand new. So I'm willing to let go of this one in trade for that fall raven backpack. It's a little Athleta bum bag. Next, this is a new with tags Tommy Hilfiger belt. Also, if I didn't say and you are new here, as I'm putting things in the bag, I will pop on the screen if Plato's purchased the item from me or passed on it. Unfortunately, I won't be able to tell you exactly what they paid me for each individual item because they don't give itemized receipts at this Plato's, but I will be able to tell you how many items in whole they purchased as well as the total, and then we can get a average for the items. If I didn't say, this is a brand new leather Tommy Hilfiger belt. Next, we have this. This is a little Shein top. You'll notice a lot of fast fashion Shein pieces, cider, things like that. Plato's Closet usually loves those, so we'll see how they do. And I tried to pick up a lot of single color things. The last time I went, they told me they passed on things because they were too busy of patterns. I do have some patterns in here, like that one was just tie-dye, but we'll see. This, again, a little no name, I don't think, what is this? See You Monday. I don't know what brand that is, just a little like smocked tie shoulder top. Then we have this. This is really cute. I like this color and I like the lace. It's kind of like a almost like lingerie top, sort of, because it's lacy and it has that little underwire. Dang, now that I'm saying that out loud, they might pass on this because it has an underwire. Hot Monday is the brand. None of these brands I don't think are anything to write home about. If they were, I would list them myself. This is a Maurice little just smocked shoulder crop top in a single color. This is pattern, so we'll see if they take this, but it's a really like soft, fuzzy, little, again, cropped short sleeve shirt, and this is by Levi's. Then, what is this? Altered State. We love Altered State at Plato. Little cropped, feather trim, black shirt, black top. Then we have some gingham leggings. These are LA Image. I don't know that brand, but they have this little cute like detail there, and they are really nice pink and white gingham. It's so funny. Every time I pack a bag for Plato's, I get nervous. I'm like, oh, they're not going to take any of this stuff. So hopefully, hopefully this trip has been worth it. You guys know already if it's been worth it. This, what are we? Oh, this is a little halter, like little collared halter top with the little drawstring in the front. And again, just a little fast fashion. Milk and Honey is this brand. That one might be too patterned though. This is the shirt that I wore I think in my last YouTube video, it is just a no boundaries top, which I think is Walmart, but it's really cute. And I think it's right up Plato's alley. Then we have, what is it, Shein Bay? Yeah, Shein Bay, new with tags. How am I going to show you this? This is a, like, lace-up back little faux satin midi dress with the tags on it in a really nice blue shade. Ooh. Then we have an overall dress. This is by Anna Casey. Just a denim overall dress. Next, some Under Armour shorts. These have like the little liner in them. Little running shorts in a solid gray color. And this is a brand I see all the time at the bins. Vesla, I think it is. I just thought this was a nice colorway for Plato's. And typically they pass on button-ups if they give too much dad vibes. So like if they're too mature, basically for the men of Plato's closet, I guess. And this doesn't look too mature for me. I like this kind of muted pattern. Hopefully that won't be too busy of a pattern for them. I do think this is the only men's thing I have though. Next, this is really pretty. I almost consider listing this, but I'm just going to give it to Plato's. This is an altered state dress, little mini dress. I love the blue colorway, and I really love the little scallop trim at the bottom. I think that's so cute. Altered state. Then this is another fast fashion. This is like a wrap top. Marina is the brand. And it's just got this little like flouncy trim to the sleeve and the bottom hemline. And like I said, it is a wrap situation, so I can't really present that to them any better than that. Next, this is a kittenish dress, which I think is like Jessie James Decker, right? I think so. Little floral milkmaid style dress. Hopefully because it's a milkmaid style, it will help them to purchase it, even though it does have a pattern. Then this, I don't know what this is. Ashley Stewart. I don't know that brand. But this, again, a little mini dress, but this has a tie in the back, and this is long sleeve. I do really like this one, though, because it is a solid color. We'll see if they take that one. And some more shorts. I think this is another fast fashion. Yeah, Daisy is the brand. They just say Lucky down here. I think that's really cute. Let's see if they take those. Very like Gorpcore. Then we have another Shein. Yeah, Shein. Little kind of like sweater top with these little pearly buttons. And this is a new with tags. Goodwill wanted $49.99 for this dress. And I know it's because the tags is $118. This is a new with tags Guess velvet dress. Could I list this myself? Yes, I could, but I do think Plato's Closet will take it, hopefully. So we'll see. If they don't take it, I will be listing that one myself. And with the majority of other things in this bag that we've already put in there, I will just pass them on to THREDUP if Plato's passes on them. Next, we have another little lace-up top. This one's by Cider. It's got the little like corset lace-up detail, and it is like a really fine rib knit. Again, a single color, so we'll see how that does. What are these? Oh, these are cool. I was hoping these were like pleats please in the bins, but they were not. Blue Bella, little kind of sheer pleated wide leg pants. And then another like satiny slip dress. I believe this is new as well. It's almost like the exact same style as the other one, but it's a different brand. Marthy. I don't know what that brand is. Again, just like a fast fashion little satiny slip dress in a single color. This might be a no because it's a busy pattern, but I liked the style and it kind of gives like 70s vibes to me. So we'll see. Another mini dress, and this is by O'Neill. And then this gives very free people to me, but the brand is Trixie. Kind of like dark coquette. I don't know. We'll see how that one does. And then I dropped some on the floor. Two more. This is a fast fashion Femme and Feta little sheer new with tags, like layering piece, mesh layering piece. And then last but not least, a pair of Noble leggings. These are a size extra small and they are cropped. They are capri. So we'll see if Plato's is on their shit and knows trends and takes capris. I highly doubt it. I highly doubt they're going to take capris. That will be the day. Anyway, the bag is pretty full. And I am literally just on time, friends. Just on time. I was planning to leave. I wanted to be done filming this by 7. Wanted to leave by 7:20. It is 6:59. So do you know we made perfect timing? Thank you, friends. Anyway, I hope Plato's was worth it today. You guys know if it was worth it or not. I hope we find some stuff at Plato's. Maybe if I find anything, I will pop that in, you know, after this. But if not, I guess I will let you go. If you want to let me know in the comments below how your sales have been doing, what platforms are doing well for you. I'm always curious to know what platforms are performing well for you right now because it seems like it's ever changing. And yeah, I guess that's it. If you took the time to watch this video and you spent your social media currency with me today, I so appreciate you. And if you wouldn't mind just hitting like on your way out, that would be awesome. I'll see you next time, friends. Bye.